Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chase's Org Thingy, Season 6, Episode 8. So, at the very end of the last episode, I mentioned that JB was pissed at soccer for that last vote. So, JB is starting to adapt a new strategy. She is going to all the people that worked with soccer, Nathan, Asher, and Nevid, and she's talking to them about how close Soccer and Joey are, because, as I said before, Soccer said, or could have picked anyone to protect, and he picked Joey. So she's going to all of them and basically saying, like, hey, by the way, you're not that close with Soccer. You're not as close as you think. I worked with him before. This is what he works like. This is how he won Season 1. And talking through all of this different stuff with them, even though two of them played with him in Season 1 and know how he won. But she's breaking it down a little bit more from that production point of view, where she's been with me for the last 5 seasons, so she's heard me talk about it. She's watched Survivor Campfire updates, and she's friends with Soccer outside of the game, so she knows a lot of his play style. So she's really breaking it down to them. And she ended up flipping Asher, because now Asher is saying he's really betrayed by Soccer. He feels like he's been completely played, completely lied to, completely betrayed by him, because he's playing way too hard pre-merge. And right now, he said that JB is his number one ally, his ride or die. So, JB has already made some waves with Asher. But now, let's get into this challenge. So, the challenge is already over. And this was honestly the closest challenge I think I've ever seen in this org. So... It was a meme-making challenge, and each tribe made 3 memes. So 2 memes were about the season, and then 1 meme is about this org in general. And so they would all be scored 1 to 10 on 3 different criteria, and then the spectators would also vote for their 2 favorite memes, 2 out of the 6, and then those 2 would get 10 points. So, with a final score of 273 to 276... Toaster's Bitches win, sending Pantheon back to Tribal Council. And as a refresher for who is on this Pantheon tribe, we have Asher, Chase, JB, Nevid, Nathan, Soccer, and Jace. So, with this shakeup now of Asher trying to turn on Soccer, JB trying to turn on Soccer, Soccer has had a chokehold on this entire pre-merge. But now with JB and Asher, with Jace as well, those are 3 people out of an 8-person tribe. They need 1 more to tie it, 2 more to flip it. Asher and Chase have historically been pretty close. I don't know how close Chase is going to be with Soccer right now, because they've worked together really well. But Chase was also left out of the J plan until later on, but he said that he didn't really care. But JB might be able to rope in Chase in that way, with that being a 4th, and I could easily see them roping in Nevid or Nathan, or I could just not see Nevid or Nathan going to Rocks for Soccer. So Soccer could easily be getting voted out here, but at the same time, it's Soccer. The man never dies. So Soccer could very easily keep Nevid and keep Chase on his side, and they would still have that 5-person majority, in which case I'm not sure who they would target, because Tribal is just now starting, so they have 24 hours to decide who they're voting for, and I haven't seen any confessionals yet, so who knows where that's going to go. But it's seeming to be a JB versus Soccer head-to-head battle, and I'm not sure who's going to come out on top. I don't know if Soccer is going to go for JB. Soccer had mentioned he wanted Jace out earlier, but I don't know if he's going to go for Jace still, just because that would be too obvious. But yeah, there's some interesting possibilities and some interesting things that could happen in this tribe. Also, here are the memes from the meme challenge. I'll post the 3 Pantheon tribe memes first, and then the last 3 memes are Toaster's Bitches memes, which means that the last 3 are the memes that won for the challenge, won by 3 points. So here are some of the memes. Also, I had some issues uploading some of the memes. One of them was a GIF, and that didn't show up or work at all. It's just a still image, but it's an X Factor judge, and he's pressing a button, and then most of them were weird for iMovie to handle, so I had to enable Ken Burn so it pans slowly down, and I don't know how to fix that. especially since I'm doing this on my phone. So I apologized for that, but here are the memes.
Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown.
Freddy, you're supposed to be on lockdown. Me, 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 me.
Okay, so the plot thickens. Apparently, Nevid wants JB out, whereas Soccer's side is going for Jace right now. So, I don't know what's happening. I don't know. I mean, I guess Nevid thinks that Soccer isn't even a possibility to go right now, that they wouldn't be able to get the numbers for Soccer and JB's on the bottom, so he got to capitalize. Because Nevid said that he doesn't want to go to the merge with JB because she's so good socially that everyone loves her, that he's going to not have as much social capital if someone like her is still in the game come merge time. So he wants to get out a really big threat now. But Soccer has been the biggest threat this entire time. So it'll be interesting to see if JB will be able to swing Nevid, or if one of Nevid's allies, like Asher, will be able to swing him or not. So this really does complicate things. This will be interesting to watch play out, because this is just a few minutes after I made the last update video. So right now it looks like Jace and JB are the two people on the chopping block, but I also haven't heard a name from JB's side of things, which I would assume is Soccer, but they might go for Joey instead of Soccer. But I would still assume that would be Soccer over Joey, but Soccer has an idol. So if he gets wind of it, he could also play that idol, and idle out either Jace or JB, whoever they end up targeting. So stacks on stacks on stacks. All right, so Soccer side is now starting to go onto JB and try to vote her out this round. Asher then said that he wants to ensure that JB stays and that Jace goes home. So Asher and Chase are trying to get out Jace instead of trying to work with JB and Jace to get out Soccer or Joey or one of those other big threats. Nathan is also heavily pushing for JB as well as Nevid. So there is a 4 onto JB. Right now it seems that Asher and Chase are about the only hope that JB and Jace have, and then hoping that Nevid or Nathan flips on the revote, which I think Nevid would be a much more likely candidate to flip than Nathan would be. But we may go to Rocks here, and that would be wild. But I don't know if Chase would actually go to Rocks for JB. Asher probably would, but I'm not sure if Chase would. Also, yes, I have a lollipop. Thug life. Okay, so one of the most badass things that I have ever seen in an org just happened. So JB is going up against Soccer. It is a head-to-head clash between two of the best org players that I have ever seen play, just in general, or played with. Soccer versus JB. Allies turn to enemies. So JB is pissed at Soccer for turning on him, as I've said before. And Soccer is going, all right, yeah, I get that. I did a scummy move, but it's just a game. Well, JB is now targeting Soccer, and she's going to Asher, she's going to Chase, and she's going to Nathan. Well, she flipped Asher and Chase, she flipped Nathan, and she's talking to Jace, who should be an easy flip. I haven't heard anything on the front of Chase. Everyone's like, or Jace. Everyone's like, where's Jace standing? Well, Jace doesn't really have anyone right now. I don't see any issue Jace would have with voting out Soccer, especially because Soccer was wanting to vote him out last tribal. So they should have a 5-3 majority over Soccer, Joey, and Nevid. But Soccer has an idol. Well, JB has an idol nullifier. But Bayback has the walkie-talkie advantage. And Bayback caused all of this drama stemming from Jay. Is where it all started with Bayback. Well, JB had an idea. She knows that Deku has an idol. She knows that Evan has an idol. She knows that Deku has a steal-a-vote. So she asked Bayback what the rules of the walkie-talkie are, just how the limitation of cross-tribe is. So Bayback asked us if he could transfer items using the walkie-talkie cross-tribe. Well, we've said before that walkie-talkie lets you legally cross-tribe, and that advantages can be transferred to anyone on your tribe. Well, if you can legally cross-tribe, you can legally transfer advantages cross-tribe. So, JB then asked Bayback to go to Deku and basically strike a deal with Deku to give them, or to give her their stuff. Yeah, sorry, I was talking about JB giving Deku her stuff, not the other way around. But, so, Bayback hands Deku the walkie-talkie, and Deku then gives JB the idol and the steal-a-vote. So, JB has an idol, she has a steal-a-vote, and she has an idol nullifier. And she has numbers. And Soccer has an idol. So, all of this shit is going on all at once, and it is insane that JB was able to go from the bottom of just her and Jace at the very bottom of the totem pole and was able to turn Asher, Chase, and Nathan around. Nathan, the round before, said Soccer was his number one ally over Bayback. Like, she was able to turn Nathan on him. And a part of this plan was because Chase had Nathan talk to Soccer about wanting to go for Jace and see how Soccer would react. If Soccer would be like, okay, yeah, if you really want to go for Jace, I'm willing to meet in the middle and go for Jace instead of go for JB. But if Soccer did his Soccer thing of, nope, we're doing it my way or the highway, which he did, then Nathan saw that his opinion wasn't really that valued by Soccer, that this was season 1 all over again. So Nathan is flipping and voting out Soccer. So it's looking like Soccer, who has had a chokehold on this pre-merge, everything that Soccer has wanted has happened, and JB from the very bottom is challenging the OG winner, the number 1 in power rankings. And it looks like she's going to be able to actually take him down because she was able to turn his allies against them. She was able to get Bayback to give up his advantage to somebody else so that they could give it their idol and their steal vote to her. This is just one of the craziest moves that I have ever seen, period. Let alone, it's Final 17! This isn't even the merge! This was, in most seasons, I have hosted 2 seasons that are 18 people casts. In most seasons, this would be the second vote. What is happening? But, oh my god, this is insane, and I am loving every minute of this, and I am so curious to see what happens. Soccer said that that he's not going to be able to make it for Tribal Council, and that he wants to play his idol on himself if an idol gets played on JB. So if JB plays her idol, Soccer's playing his idol. And if JB doesn't pre-play the idol nullifier, they could both be safe. But she also has the steal vote, which has to be played before I tally the votes, basically. And it will be done so publicly. So if it's done within 2 hours of Tribal, so Tribal's at 10 p.m. tonight, if it happens between 8 and 10, then I will add another hour to Tribal Council, and everyone will know that she's using the steal vote, which means that Joey has a safety without power, and Joey may give his safety without power to Soccer to leave. To which then Soccer may give Joey his idol. So there are so many different things that could go wrong tonight, just in any realm. And the Idol Nullifier has to be pre-played as well. So if JB doesn't pre-play it and Soccer plays the Idol, she can't just go, oh, okay, I'm playing the Idol and nullifying his Idol, because she had to do it beforehand. Similarly, if he's a safety without power, she's like, he's not going to play an Idol on Joey, and he does, then she had to have made that decision beforehand. So idle shenanigans could still happen. Safety without power could still happen. This steal a vote may happen. 2 idols may be played. Idol nullifier may be played. I have no idea what is going to happen, just because pretty much it's 2 armies that are going against each other. It's like the 2 generals. As I said before, 2 of the biggest powerhouse org players ever are going up against each other. I mean, this is just, it's insane to watch come down, and I just can't believe that JB has been able to make this move work. Like, I can believe it because she is an amazing player and is so good socially, but like, this is insane. I never even, when I made the walkie-talkie advantage, or when I took it from Bing, I should say, in his org, I didn't expect to have people try to transfer idols cross-tribe using the walkie-talkie. So I'm lost for words. This is just such an incredible vote. Just goddamn. So we're an hour away from the vote, and 2 hours ago, JB played her steal a vote advantage, and she stole Joey's vote instead of Soccer's, which also means that Joey, for the second time, has had his vote stolen. And he didn't even get to make up for it with an extra vote because he gave that to Soccer. So Joey just has bad luck with voting, apparently, or with having votes, I should say. But right now, she played the steal vote, and she played it off as, I'm backed into a corner. This is my last-ditch effort. I have an advantage, and I'm not going down without a fight. I know everyone's voting for me, but hey, you know, I'm playing this. I'm not going out with an advantage in my pocket. I'm going down fighting, you know. Yeah, basically that was the gist of the message. It's not word for word. She didn't have that many pauses and that many yas. But Joey and Soccer and Nevid, who are the people that don't know about this, actually believe that this was a last-ditch effort. The only person that doesn't believe this is Jace, who still hasn't been involved in either of the plans, because Asher does not trust Jace, which I got more well explained to me in like confessionals and stuff like that. So that's why Jace hasn't been involved, is that Asher doesn't trust Jace because he gave Jace a piece of information, and then Jace immediately told Soccer it. So he thought that telling Jace that the vote was for Soccer, that Jace would leak that vote to Soccer. So he just didn't say anything to Jace because Jace is desperate and will say whatever to try and save himself. But Chase said, worse Chase, Chase said that Jace went to him and was like, hey, I don't think we should vote for JB because I know JB well, and if JB's playing the steal vote now, that means she has something else, and she's dangerous, and she's not going home. To which this was put in Alliance chat, this conversation, and Jay was like, I'm worried that Jace is still going to vote for me, and then Chase said, this is my conversation that I just had with Jace. You don't have to worry about him. So, I don't know what is going on with Jace. None of the players have included him in a plan, and he hasn't done any confessionals since this tribal started. So, I have no clue what is happening with Jace. He hasn't even submitted a vote yet, and there's an hour left until tribal. So, Joey doesn't have a vote. Joey and Soccer don't believe that JB is voting for Soccer. Soccer did say that if JB has an idol played on her, that he is playing his idol, so he's pre-playing it, so that way, if she is safe, he just plays his idol. And JB has not mentioned the idol nullifier, but she also hasn't really mentioned playing the idol, because I think she trusts that she has the numbers and that stealing Joey's vote secures that, even if she didn't beforehand. So I think she realizes that she doesn't need the idol, which is also a fantastic read to be able to flip all of Soccer's allies against him and then trust and read correctly that they're actually on your side. I mean, that's cold. So it seems like with an hour left, as I said, it seems like JB is going to be safe and that Soccer is going to go home. Chase, Asher, and Nathan all submitted parchments for Soccer, so they're all true with actually flipping and voting against Soccer. JB submitted 2 votes for Soccer, so that's 5. That's already enough votes onto him. But, as I said before, there's safety without power. There's 2 idols. There's an idol nullifier. Things can still go crazy and shit can still hit the fan. So it is possible that something happens and something changes. But right now, it seems like Soccer is going to get voted out for the first time ever. And he's going to get voted out by the person that got second place to him in Season 1. So it's a fairly poetic, his closest ally now turned enemy. Kind of a poetic storyline there for you. So yeah, that's what's going on, and I will give a very final clip, if just a very short one, if Soccer is voted out, or I will come to you with a chaotic update if shit hits the fan, which honestly at this point it's 50-50. It's Soccer. So who the hell knows? Well, Tribal happened, and it ended up with Soccer going home. Soccer did not play the idol, JB did not play the idol, so Soccer, the first ever winner and number 1 out of 100 in the power rankings, has finally been voted out with an idol in his pocket. And JB only used a steal vote, didn't even have to waste an idol on it. So, I don't really have much else to say about the vote. GG Soccer, you played one hell of a game, and you had a chokehold on this game until you didn't. You played an amazing game, a villainous game, but hey, whatever you wanted to have happen, happened, as I said, until it didn't. I'm going to end this episode off on Joey's live reaction to the moment that he knew that Soccer was going home when the third vote for him came in, because JB obviously had 2 votes. So when that third vote came in, this was the moment that Joey knew Soccer was headed home. And thank you for watching this episode. I'll let Joey take us out.
2 JB, 2 Soccer, 1 Nathan. Come on. Ooh, what? Shit. Did we get duped? It's 3, 2, 1. Fuck. Oh my god, no, I just lost the game. And there goes the idol as well.